I have in front of me an 8-way HDMI splitter. It's available with free delivery directly from freetv.ie. So you can see the unit here directly in front of me here, and then the setup we have here, we're just running it directly from a Ferguson combo box, and we're feeding it directly over the two TVs. So sometimes the design on this might change a little bit. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give an overview of this unit, what it's good for, and what the alternatives are, and I'm going to try to guide you on what you should buy off our website here. The whole area of HDMI splitters has become very complicated, and people use the term 4K quite loosely, and it can lead to problems. So I'll just talk about this, and then I'll come back to the other topics in a minute. So if we look at the front of the box, we see there's 8 displays here, and it just says, is there a HDMI connected? And we actually have 2 HDMI leads, and they light up here. We have an on-off switch on the front. And if we look in the back, we have 8 outputs all across, and then what we have here is we have these 2 cables running directly over here, and we have 1 single input coming directly over from the box, okay? So that's fine, and for most applications out there, certainly for guys who are buying free-to-air boxes off us and want to come along and do it, that's fine. So we're not selling this as a 4K splitter, even though if we look in the box here, it says it is. So in certain ways, it is a 4K thing. So 4 megapixel would be the full 8 megapixel. But the reason that we've sort of made a logic that we're going to have probably 3 different classifications of HDMI splitters for each size. This is the standard range. It works fine in almost all applications, but it and this is the basic level then. But it's fine. You can see the picture quality, and it's absolutely excellent. And it is 4K in terms of the resolution it can handle. But there's a complication. There's 2 things you need to look at when you're looking at what the demands of your particular device is. So what we're sort of standardizing in our heads is, will it work with, for instance, a Sky Q box, which is a 4K box. So there's 2 things to look at there. It's to look at the HDMI version here. So is it 1.4 or is it 2.0, something like that. And then the other thing to look at, and this is probably the most important here, is the HDCP version it uses. So most of those technologies now are using a 2.2 things for the high-end boxes, and that's really where the problem becomes. It's not really so much the hardware, but the software, and because it's possible, we'll say, with a lot of the Sky high-definition boxes that are out there, they'll work with splitters, and all of a sudden it won't, simply because the software version on the box has changed. So this one here may or may not work with certain Sky HD boxes, but it definitely won't work with the Sky Q one. So if you see the term 4K on any of our HDMI splitters or things like that, what we've done in terms of testing it is come along and tested it with a Sky Q 4K box and make sure it'll work. Okay, so that's our basic thing. So the third item that we have in the range is we have a professional range as well in the 4K thing. That's a higher price point again. And the basic thing it can do is, sometimes with that, what you can actually do is send signals afterwards to be able to change channels, and it's designed deliberately for professional use. So hopefully that has confused and made people clearer on the relation to it. This is still a great thing. It's much, much cheaper than the other ones that are on the range. You can see for the standard applications it'll work absolutely fantastic, but the big drawback on it is if your unit is using HDCP 2.2, it won't work with it. So that's just a key thing to understand. So that's it anyway, an overview of the 8-way HDMI splitter available directly from freetv.ie.